So given the recent reaction of DisneyTVA's announcement of Primos, we need to talk about some stuff. So for anyone who is unaware, Disney announced one of its upcoming TV shows called Primos at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival around the second week of June, and they revealed the opening theme song, which took the internet by storm. From Emmy Award-nominated creator and executive producer Natasha Cline, Primos introduces Taylor Ramirez Humphrey, an eccentric girl with big dreams, determined to find what makes her extraordinary. The series is inspired by Cline's childhood experiences with her extended multicultural Mexican-American family. Solid premise, but as you've seen, the internet has kind of torn this show to shreds. Which, as an independent creator, I really kind of find disheartening. Disney did some emergency PR moves that left kind of a bad taste in a few people's mouth. Now, there's more to this conversation than what I can explain here, so please check out the links in the description, including the creator's point of view, which I will also link. As someone who is an invisibly queer white man, I'll never really understand what it's like to live every day confronted by the reality that the outside world sees me and labels me in a certain way that opens me up to immediate judgment. But what I can do is recognize the problems within our media and my own work and make space for the voices that need to be heard. Primos is a great example of a project that had a lot of love going into it, but something went wrong in the application. Like Natasha and a lot of you, I'm also a working artist who needs to pay the bills and wants to help tell meaningful stories. I've been working on a series tentatively called Creating for Change for the last year that tackles the challenges of creating intersectional media. While it's still in development and honestly won't be out for a while, I've designed it to be a roadmap of where to start and who to listen to if you're looking to create or engage with media critically and in good faith. Creating for Change aims to have the discussion of how we, as artists of privilege, and yes, that includes you, can tell stories that aren't from our own experience and still do right by the communities involved. Some of you have probably heard of the advice, write/create what you know. But if we did that, that means everyone would be telling their life story, and we would only have TV shows that are autobiographical and typecast certain types of creators into only telling stories of a certain variety. For me, it feels like, as a creator, our world is saying, stay in your lane and only work on projects that align with you or what you look like. Why are we setting these arbitrary lines in the sand of who can tell what story when we should be working together to uplift each other and tell all of our stories? This isn't some exclusionary club, and truly intersectional works take into account everyone's point of view. It's literally impossible for one person to experience all sections of human existence. That being said, if we want to write stories that are not solely about our own experience, we need to understand that everyone has some degree of privilege. It's kind of an inescapable fact of living in a diverse world. Are you white? White passing? Straight? Cisgendered? Able-bodied? Did you get a college education? All these factors and more play intersectionally into our perspectives, and it's important that if we want to create truly diverse stories, that we do the work to be aware of how our narratives affect everyone involved. With the Primos announcement, the internet tends to be reactionary. People and algorithms pull things out of context, and it leads to a lack of nuance, in all honesty. If we actually want to make our media more inclusive, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it starts with having patience and understanding for the baby steps we're taking along the way. We, as creatives and community members, need to engage in good faith discussions about these things before jumping to conclusions beyond our understanding. Hell, maybe Natasha actually lived these experiences, and the sheer fact that everyone is demeaning her and her vision online before we even actually have a chance to see the show in action is really awful. And to be honest, if something like that happened to me, I don't know how I would cope with that. Sure, Disney did a disservice in their announcement, and maybe they were pushing for a more lucrative, quote-unquote, approach to diversity, but I can only imagine what it's like from her point of view. That being said, change happens from the ground up, so we kind of have to be united in our efforts to make a difference. Creating for Change really is my love letter to an industry that is becoming more and more polarized. The class is meant to collect everything in one place, so it's easy for you as someone who might be not sure where to look for a specific point of view to be able to like easily navigate the first few steps of that process. If you have any thoughts on this, please feel free to shoot me an email. I've been trying to talk to as many folks as I possibly can about this topic, and I'd actually love to set up a good faith discussion about this. Honestly, I want to team up with my community and make a difference. Creating for Change is coming soon. Don't harass the creator of Primos any more than she's already gotten. Stay tuned for any updates, and I'll see y'all soon.